There's a story which is coming up at the moment, quite a dangerous story about a lady in Ilford who apparently ordered some cannabis sweets. I didn't realise such things existed. The Bay has obviously taken against the idea. And she ate these and she's died, 23-year-old lady. And apparently somebody a few months ago came into contact with something very similar. Now, I wouldn't know anything about these things, but I do have a cannabis story. And when I was living in Greece, at some point we'd become sort of homeless, and a friend offered us a sort of rooftop as a place to stay, and he was going off back to America, and he said, because he was in fact American and not Greek, and he said, oh, you can stay here, but the only important thing you've got to do is to water the plants. And these plants were in these great big blue tubs, which sort of almost came up to my eye, and they were filled with plants, and in the centre there were these sort of things which looked a little bit like tomatoes and potatoes, and the important injunction was that I was not to weed them. Don't weed the plants! And so we stayed there on this rooftop for about, well, most of the summer, and I think we actually paid some rent as well. I can't remember very clearly, but it did stop us being homeless, which was something of a benefit, and I'm very grateful. I've written a little bit, and in my stories, this man is called Aubrey Kingston III. I don't think that was actually his name, but anyway, I think it sort of fits him. And one of my other friends came round, and he said, he was actually a Canadian Greek, and he said, oh, you've got so much weed here. And I said, well, yeah, I know, because Aubrey has told me not to weed the plants. Said, no, you've got weed. What do you mean by weed? And he explained that this was cannabis, marijuana. And I thought, oh my goodness, I'm growing marijuana. He said, yeah, but there's police helicopters going across, because we're in the centre of Athens. And we had these sort of 8 large tubs, and they were enormous. And I thought the important thing to do was to get them off the roof and into the little shed. There's a Greek name for this shed. It's the place where you normally put suitcases and things that you don't want in your flat. In my case, it was the place where they put me and my partner and the cat, and so we put all, we sort of pushed all these large barrels into this sort of what is it, polycatakia? No, that's a block of flats itself. I can't remember what they're called. And during the night, one had such an intense headache. And I think a few days later, this man came back. By that point, we had fled. We had found somewhere to live elsewhere. And he was very annoyed. But I don't think we really spoke again. Anyway, that's my experience of cannabis.